Actually, that was one of the first things I ever figured out how to do with horses was to pretend like I was crying and my catching them wasn't important to me. And then all of a sudden I was able to catch any horse just by that kind of change in my energy.
Right, good. So, when I first got here, I used to talk sick.
Yep. Right? Yeah. So what I do when I'm hoping that they're going to suddenly take focus on me, especially in a different surrounding, is I start asking them to do something with their feet. So I liked watching the debate he had when you were walking that way. He had a mild debate of leaving, staying, and he was watching her. And I'm glad that when you chose to take the kind of the side of him that you can drive, then he reconnected to you because you drove him away from what he was debating going to instead. But for that, your energy was very passive, so he had no reason to think that you were going to get louder for him. So that was why I think he stayed connected. Had you maybe gotten a little bit louder, like I was thinking with Juliet, you tend to have more tendency to get a little bit louder with her, and then that tends to make her take off. He has a more eagerness to be like kind of your sidekick. Yep. It's an awesome reward to the point to where they'll start to ask you to scratch them in the spot. Yep. And the trick is never satisfy the itch. Because if you satisfy the itch, then they no longer want to come for it.
My ego has no room in here. And it's as big as all outdoors, but it has no place in here.
No.
There's not enough room for my ego and yours.
Well, one of the most valuable things that my son ever kind of taught me and reminds me of is demonstrate, don't show off. Because when you show off, it goes wrong. Because that's about you.
Because whenever I go, watch this.
Yep. But if you're demonstrating the horse, you're showcasing the horse. When you're showing off, you're showing yourself off.
Oh, nice, thanks. Can you give me that touch stick? I'm going to see if the touch stick stimulates something from here. Because we haven't used the touch stick in a long time.
I don't even need these. Okay.
So you would actually be able to get the rear touch of the book tail. And that's good, or whatever you use tell them that they did it.
Uh-huh.
It has to be exactly when they touch it. And then they pick it up super fast. Okay.
Yeah. He's like, yes, let me do it again. Let me do it again.
Yep, he loves it.
That's an easy cookie.
Touch it twice, then pick.
No. I am mildly concerned about her because her energy is anxiety, but she's controlling it almost to the point to where if you started doing something with her, you'll help her out of that. Yes, and your feedback was she was pointing out.
Yeah.
So she,
Oh, good.
yeah.
Good. That I need to hear. Feedback. So, a lot of times I'm going, instead of taking feedback, I'm just going, is she doing anything wrong?
Right.
That's not the same as feedback.
No,
That's
no. She's telling you already that she's not into it and that her focus is somewhere else. But her focus actually isn't even on the other horses. It's on the confinement. Yes. And it was nice because you were able to change gears on what was originally happening. Because I think if you had continued to chase her, she would have, because she flipped her ears back at you once. Being a mare. So now what goes into teaching them the place command?
So place is about, first they have to learn their names. And then I set them up in that position and I call it place. And what I do is the verbal reassurance is the third step. You need a primary enforcer. I reinforce place with whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Use the treat, the scratch. And as I'm doing the treats and the scratch, I say place. And then for a while, I don't give them any reinforcement until they're in place.
Okay.
And then I take away the other reinforcements and call place. And then eventually I do other things with them in place is work.
Okay.
Yeah. And place is important for multiple because we always want them starting from the same place. Right? Excellent, Juliet.
Yeah.
Okay. Little circles. Good girl. Good girl. Good circle. Good circle. Can you make it smaller?
Hi, handsome. You're okay.
Two eyes, I want two eyes. I want to have two eyes. Yes, that's two eyes. Two eyes is important, right?
Yes. Being connected is important too, and that's the only thing that I'm actually not seeing.
She's not connected to you. She's just being obedient.
She's obedient for the reward.
Right.
And that's part of why I don't do treats, because she's kind of like, she's disconnected from you, and she's like, okay, I know this one, so I'll just do this one because I know there's a treat involved. And then she checks right back out.
Okay, let's try and get her attention.
Right? No, I understand.
I should phase them out more.
I would.
I give too many.
And I honestly, like, he's more connected to you, but some of his debate was, would I rather a treat than go see what she's doing?
Right.
Meaning what Juliet was doing. So, like, I'm not seeing the kind of connection that would be without treats.
Right. So, let's define both. Nice circle. I'm going to let him win by just, well, what can I get from here?
Trust me, I don't carry treats. But you can check. Don't bite my jacket.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
That's really fresh. Oh, you want to pick it up? Go ahead, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Yes, yes. And now she's scanning. She's scanning for whatever's going to be.
Yep.
Making it. She's just like, okay, I have a repertoire here. I'll see what works.
Yeah, she's like, okay, I know this
But
gets
then I'm
one.
leaving. As soon as I get the treat, I'm leaving. I'm out of here. So I probably give too many, and at intervals, they're actually more valuable. Right? Give them all the time. So what I could do is
Yep. Okay. Okay. Will they back up together? So if you could add that as an element. Yeah. Well, beside you is probably treat oriented also. Because a true backup is straight. A true backup is always straight. Okay. Yeah. Because she was told at least 3 times, so if she stepped off, then. Good boy.
Good horses, yay! Okay, Juliet, go around. Good, good. Hold up there. Good. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Now we're going to help you into a little bit. Everybody back. Everybody back. Juliet, don't look away. Everybody back. sense.
Yeah.
Juliet?
I would say. So, like, if that was my horse, I would do it one more time, giving her the benefit of the doubt that she knows it and she'll perform it properly. And then if she doesn't, then I would do it all in hand. Yes. I give them the benefit of the doubt. I let them mess up when I originally thought they would just do it. Then I give them the benefit of the doubt that they lost their head for a minute. And then the next time, if the time that I gave them the benefit of the doubt, they didn't do it properly, then I would put it in hand, because too much of doing it wrong gives them that gray area and that room for negotiation. Then they decide, well, you let me get away with it last time, so I should be able to get away with it this time. And then before you know, you're spending a lot of time at the negotiation table.
Yeah, I don't want to spend a lot of time at the table with you. I didn't ask you to take up I didn't ask you to put me on. Alright, so stand. What a good one. Stand. What a good. Ready? Good. You're mugging me now.
Now, the thing is he offered you more, and I would have been like, yes, take it, because he offered you a canter stride.
Yeah.
So I would have been like, yes, you're right, keep going. I would have encouraged that because he offered it to you.
All right, so I'll verbally reward you.
Yep.
Now, Julia.
Yeah.
She was fired from summer camp for very bad things.
I bet.
Before I got her.
I specialize in changing their attitude.
She's been really, really good with me and everybody for years, but I'm never Oh, okay. Ready?
Cobwebs.
I still think that's awesome.
So now, for, like, if that was my goal, was to get him to energize through the whole thing, what I would possibly do, if you can get her to stay in one spot, is take him out on the rail and reinforce what you are calling your go faster cue, and then bring him back and use that again in that activity.
Okay, good. And I could actually do that with both people.
Sure. But not without an attitude.
Ready? Yeah. Should I try it again and lift my energy and see what happens? And then take him out if he doesn't get energy?
It depends on how many times you want less than what you're looking for. Well, the fact that he offered that canter stride tells you that he's willing to offer something, and because he wasn't necessarily assured that was the best thing he could have done, then he gave you less because I think he preferred to do less.
Okay. Will. Just look at you will. Maybe you will. Maybe you will. So you think she's got more, and she's a little overweight.
It seems like she might either have a hock or a stifle issue on one leg. Once I see her move again, I can pick out which leg it is.
Okay. So it's always hard for me to tell because she came to me around the same time. She's gated.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really hard because I'm used to seeing her leg, okay? I can put my energy up a little bit without facing a little whip, which is not connection. Facing a little whip is not connection.
You can gain connection through that, as long as when you get the connection, you reward the connection.
By stopping the stroke.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Good boy.
Wow, beautiful, so sweet. That's so nice.
So now, for example, like he's giving you like extra credit by offering you that. So, how I would handle that is I would encourage him to say yes, follow into it better, and then really be very excited about it. So like he offered it and then he didn't really, like, they're very used to being rewarded. So he didn't really sense that was an effort that was necessary. So then he brought back down to the trot, and then he tried again. He's like, how about this? And he keeps he's checking in with you when he does it, as if to say, what do you think of this? So I think if you kind of made him feel special for that moment that he's offered you that much more than he really ever wants to, then I think you're going to probably get a lot more out of him.
Good. I like that. Because that's what I struggle with when I'm on my own, is that I get into a rut.
Well, he's offering more. He's trying to make it interesting for himself.
It's unusual for him. Okay. Come on. Circle. Yes. Circle. Good. And good.
Good boy. Good boy. And now bring him in. Yeah.
Wow, good. So good. Okay, Juliet, you have to do something back. Oh. She is nasty today. Thanks, man. Come here.
Yeah, yep, it is the front right, yep.
Front right. Hey! See, now it's better than we've gotten our way before. Okay, now you guys have to really do something, okay?
So, what can improve your relationship with her is to not tolerate the nasty face, not reward the nasty face. You can change her expression very easily, because her expression changes right now, right? So, for example, if you asked her to go out on the circle and she goes out there with her head snaked down and her ears pinned back, yeah, I don't carry treats, but hi. What I would do is I wouldn't bring her back in until she flips her ears forward for any reason. Like, it could be that she saw something over there and her ears flip forward. And then I'd be like, yes, come in now.
Okay, she got one ear out.
Yep.
Got one ear on you. Come on. Oh, good, good.
Good, yep.
Good.
You'll be able to start changing her mind about how she wants to look.
That would be nice, especially for the photographs. Okay, next place.
Good girl.
Alright. You guys are going to be so good. Good, Alan. That's my goal. Okay, oh. There's some pushing. I love that rule. I decided to use it myself. There's some big symbols.
Yeah, we had this done about 7 years ago.
Okay, ready? Ready? Okay. And you. And you circle. And you circle. No. Sandy, no, 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 no. That's okay. Okay. Circle. Hey, circle. Hey, circle. Good. 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 Don't bite it. Don't do not bite it. Good. Everybody talk. Sit. Good. Good here. Oh, I'm sorry. That was my mistake.
Good girl.
I signaled the spin.
Mhm.
And I don't ever want to say no to a spin.
Yeah, and always be aware of what you're doing that communicates something, and make sure that they're not responding to what you're saying. So that was definitely the best way to handle that. Because
Because I was telling her one thing and you saw the stick go up and
Yep.
I got to spin now. Oh, it's so complicated when there's more than one. Okay, good. That was super good. Okay, let's try again. The famous let's try again. See that when you play. I just want to whack on the butt, but that's what she's always done, right? Of course. Back. Back. Good. Henry, circle. Juliet, circle here to the card kick. Good. Oh, better than. Good. Anyway out, right?
Mhm.
Anyway out. Now she's going to stop at you. Oh, come on, Juliet. Cut. Cut. Good. Hey, stop. Hey, stop. Hey, stop.
Good boy.
Stop. Catch up. Get up. Get. And spin. Great. Great set spin. Alright. See how you really have to watch that, right?
Mhm.
That's not so super safe, but she does it. And then I just kept her going until she turned her ears.
Yep.
I probably should have done more.
Um.
But I had him out there. Yeah, go ahead, tell me.
Yeah. The first thing I thought when it was kind of he was doing his own thing, trying to be very good, and then she was doing her own thing, trying to not be so good. she might need more time online without him at all. So that way you can really focus on her and kind of not worry about what mixed messages you're giving to him, because he's giving you his heart. Right, right. No, not at all.
And I like this idea of putting her back online, because what I do is I work more with him on the ground because he's unhappy on the saddle. And I ride her because I want someone to ride.
Right.
And so I need to go back and fix all the stuff online that needs to be fixed to have her. Although, Spanish, like some days, she's like, hey, what are we doing? What do you want to do?
Right.
And can you do this? And do this?
Well, that could be a day she's more hungry.
But you know, some days she's just waiting for me to indicate, and she'll do anything I say. And sometimes she's
Well, she's definitely less connected to you than he is.
way less. Although sometimes it's the other way around too. Sometimes I can use the product and do some of the mantra. So it depends on the side of the scale I wake up on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have to pay attention to that. I'm not doing it with her. Maybe that's okay.
Well, I do. What I'm noticing is there's a reason for everything. Meaning, like when they do something that's not what you wanted, you've excused it, which is fine, but that creates a lot of gray area.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Right. So for me, when I'm looking for something specific, I work until I get that something specific or something real close to it, and then they're rewarded. If it goes wrong, then, and I know that it's only going to escalate into a worse situation, then I will try to incorporate something that they do very well so that I can end there. But I will not let them get away with kind of going, well, you know, you wave the stick that way, so it's probably that, and I'm just going to come over here and you're just going to let me get away with doing that. So the more that they have a gray area, the more opportunity they're going to take on using that.
Got it. And that makes a lot of sense to me, because I'm exceeding and I want to play, and sometimes I just need to take this and figure it. Circle, passe, and she started it. Circle, passe, circle.
Well, right there, had you fixed what was a conversation between you and I, and she was expected to stay standing there, she got away with leaving.
Right.
So, but in doing that, she gets away with believing she can just leave, and that's going to happen to you more and more.
Oh, okay, got it. So my thinking on that was just, okay, she's making a circle, I'm going to use it. Yeah, the pitch supposed to be in there, like, passe, right. Circle, passe. This is very hard, because I have a lot of movement. Passe, right circle, good. Right circle, good. No. Passe, circle, good. Passe. Oh. And I can't let you do that many turns in one morning. Even when it's not what I wanted. Am I going to break the thing I wanted by avoiding the...
If you genuinely feel like he's responding to a cue that you accidentally gave him,
I don't know. I can't tell.
I think he's offering you something that usually gets a reward, whether it's a treat reward or just a stop moving reward.
Yes, okay, this is super good, by the way. So I'm going to definitely take this, which is good. Alright, I think he was doing the ladder. I think he was standing. So if I just stand, I'll get
Yep.
shot. And then, as soon as we went back to doing this and I asked for
Well, and that's what's funny is that she actually kind of just gave in and then said, well, maybe that'll get us stopped. So she finally decided to do what you were asking for. She knew all along what you were asking for, you know, so she finally decided she's going to get involved.
Right. So she's smarter than I'm pushing her for.
Oh, yeah.
I have to go back and fix some things online so I get a look at her.
More precision in what you ask for and what you expect, because she's actually showing that she's quite smart. So like that, like I wouldn't have allowed that, because now she got away with leaving. You didn't dismiss her.
Right.
And then if you just say, okay, well, let's make something out of it, that's still the same as she left and she got a, yeah.
Okay, hey, Dan, Juliet, get back in place. Get back in place. In place. Now. In place. Oh, the ears. All right, she has to circle. What? 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 Look up the inside. I'm not going to hit it what you have to do. Okay. Oh, that's another thing. So if I don't want to break this, is that if I get in front of her shoulder, she stops. So if somebody else is talking at it, somebody else probably would stop when I stop at the shoulder.
Mm-hmm. Good girl.
But I don't want my husband to go and she's good. See your finger? See your finger? Finger? Very hard. So my next horse, if you happen to see one, ponies with some cancers with names and heads. Now I need two eyes. I need two eyes. Two eyes. Two eyes. Good. I need two eyes. I need two eyes. And reverse. I need two eyes. Good. And reverse. I'm really pushing my luck except for there.
You know why? Because she believes herself to be the boss between the two of you.
I didn't move my feet though, although the camera will tell it.
Well, she's displaying a lot of dominant behavior. Yeah. Good boy. You got itches? Now, what I would have done right there is, because she gave you 2 years forward, she asked you a question, I would have brought her right back in and rewarded her for that. Because she backed up politely, she gave you 2 years forward. I would have invited her right back to me to say, oh my gosh, what a good girl for giving me those looks. Yeah.
She's really good. Last year she had 18 horses in the ring and was doing them all by name at Liberty.
They're all Arabians, right?
They were middies.
Oh, really?
Ponies. And some Arabians. And this year she doesn't connect every time. She's amazing. She's definitely listening. She's very sharp. And she's very good. Okay, that was nice.